Welcome back to Kingdom Hearts.
Why the fuck are we back here?
Because we have some more stuff to do.
We have more?
Finish this.
Yes.
Wait,
so,
why is there more question marks? I thought we did the last one.
Yeah, that's what I meant.
So listen.
We're listening.
So we ended up doing in the last part all of the end of the world, but now we have four. Is it four? I think it's four. Four super bosses that we've got to take on. The first of which is the Ice Titan.
What the fuck?
So there's two optional bosses that are that you can fight in Olympus Coliseum. The first one you can fight is actually the harder of the two, and you don't have to have beaten the Hades Cup first to do it. But in order to fight this guy, the easier of the two super bosses in this area, you have to have beaten the Hades Cup first in order to challenge him. The Ice Titan is incredibly tough. His only weak point is his head. He has 1500 HP. He is constantly shooting icicles of varying varieties. And I did a big mistake here because normally for tough boss fights I always say set up arrow and get ready to heal. Do not, and I mean do not use arrow in this fight. Why? Because he throws icicles at you, okay? And you can normally deflect them. They're usually this nice little size that you can deflect them, and they'll actually fly right at him and deal damage. That's how you actually get him whittled down. And as you block and hit back the icicles, he'll take damage until he will be vulnerable for a short time where you can hit him normally. But if you use arrow, he uses these unblockably large icicles, and you cannot hurt him because you can't deflect them. So don't use arrow in this.
He's trying pro strats, and he says no strats.
No strats, exactly. So you might think you could do pro strats, but in this fight, as Landon said, you can't have no strats. The strategy here is that you just gotta stay on the very far ends of the Coliseum arena. Stay up on the stairs. Do not go down on the ground to that level because you need to have that extra leverage. He has multiple different attacks. He can put his hand into the ground and cause icicles to pop up. If he steps around like he's doing now, which he always does in a circle in order to catch up to you to be eye to eye with you, the shockwaves can also deal damage. Then he also does different ways of small icicles. Some of them are in sets of fives that are a little wave like did earlier. Some of them all come together and they're in a straight line. Those actually are a lot easier to deflect and deal extra damage. It's kind of tough to deflect the ones that are in three separate waves, but I mean you can also just whack them with a keyblade and that also works too. But yeah, once you do enough damage, he'll just kind of be dazed on the ground and you can hit him a little bit. You only really have enough time to do a little bit though, and whenever he's done being dazed, he'll do this huge flurry of icicles, which you can deflect some of them for some damage. And later on, he's going to be doing some more stuff. He just added an ice breath attack, and he can also use this other attack where he summons a giant ice ball from above Sora, and he'll drop it on you, right there. Now.
Oh, perfect time.
I like how this guy's just
you...
here. He just shows up.
Yeah. They basically were just so what's a Disney boss we can use for a super hard boss fight?
Yeah.
This guy, I guess.
Well, we already fought the rock golem, so yeah, why not?
We did. These are the only two
Titan.
These are the only two Titans that are fightable in this game. But there are others in the Kingdom Hearts series that you can fight, namely in Kingdom Hearts 3 for some reason. I would say that the Ice Titan, if you know what you're doing, is probably the easiest of the optional bosses, just because he has a very predictable pattern. So as long as you know how to avoid his attacks and you know how to keep your health up, even though you can't use arrow, he's really not that bad. He just is really... He takes a long time to defeat because you really can only work with deflected attacks for most of the fight. But you do get tons of tech experience, so that's pretty cool. So,
Traitor, not now.
Yeah, I think the only other thing that he hasn't done yet, we'll start to see it soon because we've already knocked off like almost 40% of his health. He has another move where he can just like kind of it's kind of hard to explain. He'll do it. Jack, I forget. You said you didn't beat Kingdom Hearts 1, right?
No, I didn't.
So you definitely have not seen this guy.
No, definitely not.
Yeah.
I
would definitely recommend... Oh, go ahead.
Most of my experience with Kingdom Hearts is through watching a friend play it when I was a kid.
Gotcha.
So I barely remember anything.
He progressively adds more and more of those ice balls in sequence, the less health he has. So he starts with only like 1, but then he goes to 3, and then I think he ends up at 5 during the last part of the fight. That ice breath can freeze you, and he has one last attack that he hasn't done yet that can also freeze you, and it does a fair bit of damage as well. I would recommend going in at least like level, I want to say like 55 or 60 when you fight him. You don't have to be like an extremely high level, thankfully, because like I said, he's definitely, in my opinion, the easiest of the super bosses to fight, as long as you know what you're doing.
He just has a fuckload of health.
Not just a fuckload of health, because like most of the bosses do have that. But also the fact that he's so hard to actually get some hits on.
Do you get Donald and Goofy for any of the other super bosses?
Yes.
Okay.
Ice Titan and one other boss that we'll fight are in fact, actually, the only 2 fights that you're locked to Sora only are the ones here in the Colosseum. We're not going to be doing the other one that's in the Colosseum in this part, though, because he's, in my opinion, like the hardest of the extra bosses. Could be argued the second hardest in this version of the game, but he's one of the hardest 2 of the extra bosses, so we don't fight him. That's the last attack. He does this giant AoE freeze. Yeah, he just does this giant AoE freezing move. If you super glide away, then he can't hurt you, but he does it with such little startup, it's kind of tough. So I'd probably just suggest to stay healthy. Once he gets to this last leg, try to keep your health a decent amount. Like, yeah, you can dodge it. But yeah, only the 2 Colosseum fights you're locked to Sora. The other 3 you do get Donald and Goofy, although the amount of usefulness they serve varies depending on which fight they're in. Oh, I kind of ended up in a nice...
At least they'd be able to help out with a little bit of the MP management, because it's a little hard to do that in this fight.
Yeah, in this fight, the hardest part is definitely keeping your MP up so that you can actually continually heal. I suggest, if nothing else, keep ethers in stock, because you're gonna need them in order to keep healing. You don't need to use anything else, really. You just need your Cure spell, so as long as you have enough MP to keep using Cure, you're fine. So I would say keep some ethers in stock so you can keep your MP replenished. That's about it. Another thing, because we don't have Donald or Goofy, we also can't use summons, so we don't have access to Tinkerbell or anything for some passive healing or help or anything like that.
Lame.
Please no.
Please, yes. I
Ow.
would like a snow cone.
Ooh, what flavor?
I don't want to become a snow cone, though.
What flavor of snow cones do they have?
I got just out of the way of that.
We got blueberry, we got raspberry, we got orange, we got purple.
Ow.
Oh, hell yeah.
Oh yeah, I should mention that part of the layering on of attacks he does is like during this last leg that I mentioned, as he starts doing that circling, stomping in order to catch up to Sora, he starts also throwing the ice balls down like nothing. So, best thing to do is just to kind of dodge roll left and right.
They were
sound effect
discounted
plays,
at the snow cone place.
The sound effect plays. The sound effect plays before. Plays before it actually appears. So, if you just go with the rhythm with the sound effect, you should be fine. Yeah. I literally hit him like maybe 4 times, and he's already back up. And now, there's tons of ice. Like little icicles now.
Tell him to calm down.
Yeah, Jesus.
Hey, Ice Titan, chill out.
Cool off.
Cool off!
Cool off.
Go check out our Octopath Traveler Let's Play.
10 years from now.
Ooh, that was a close one.
Join us in 2031 when Cloud is almost 40 years old and we're Let's Playing Octopath Traveler.
And I still haven't made it to Kingdom Hearts 3 yet.
Probably not.
And they still haven't released Kingdom Hearts 4.
Dead, fuck you. I hate that.
And yet
that's
somehow
probably gonna be
I'm
accurate.
already... and yet somehow I'm already halfway through the Trails games.
Ow. God damn it. I lost half
Didn't
my
you
health
just
just
heal?
trying to get my MP. Yeah, just trying to get my MP back up. Ow.
See, if you don't take damage, you don't need to heal, which means you don't have to worry about your MP. Just a thought.
I mean, I'm sure that there's people out there that can, like, perfect no damage run this boss fight, because, like, there are crazy idiots out there that do no damage runs in Kingdom Hearts games for
Jesus
bosses,
Christ.
and I'm just like, how?
That sounds
Kingdom Hearts
stupid.
Yeah, Kingdom Hearts is pretty tough. Ow.
Hit him. Whack him in his dick.
Yeah, whack his dick.
Or his
He
lack
doesn't have a
thereof.
dick. I was gonna say he has no dick. He's just the icy skeleton man.
That's right. He's right, sir. This man has no dick.
Trader, can we help you?
God, I just need one decent fucking set of icicles for him to throw at me so I can fucking beat him.
There you go.
There we go. Did it. He was just about to breathe ice on me. We did
Just
it,
try to
guys.
do a little flip.
Sort of.
I guess. I don't know.
I find this part amusing. Yeah,
Meow.
okay, cat.
Oh, fuck.
Oh.
Oh no, he's tiny. Oh no. Oh, it's like symbolic.
Sora's the Titan.
Take that.
So we don't
Yeah,
actually beat
symbolism.
him.
We got the Diamond Dust Keyblade for beating him. The Diamond Dust Keyblade has a very low bonus to attack, but it gives you 3 MP. So if all you want to do is have a ton of magic, then that's the Keyblade for you. In fact, I actually have it equipped because we're kind of gonna want it. I don't remember if I keep it equipped because I definitely died the first time that I tried this next boss fight that we're gonna do, but I at least gave it a shot because having extra MP, you want to make sure for this next boss fight you go in with a loadout that gives you a ton of magic potential, because you are going to need to rely on your magic so much in this next fight. Turn off any of your like special attack finish, like special attacks that you can like give Sora, like Ars Arcanum, Sonic Blade, and shit like that. He's not going to be able to use them. Just put them all towards stuff that helps you get your MP back faster, like MP Rage, MP Haste, or just general good support abilities that'll help you in a fight that requires a lot of magic.
And get rid of Donald?
Honestly, yeah. You can use Donald if you want, but I think you need... actually, no, you have to have Peter Pan with you. You could keep Donald instead of Goofy if you want, but I think that Goofy's a better ally for this fight. So this is the Phantom. The Phantom has a gimmick where he will cast Doom on one of your party members if you don't stop the clock tower. And Doom is exactly as it is in the Final Fantasy games. You have a limited amount of time. If that time runs out, the character that has Doom cast on them is dead. In order to stop him from being able to cast Doom, you need to freeze Big Ben. You can keep going back over to it every so often. Just remember that stop does cost 2 MP. That's also part of the reason why you need to have a good MP loadout for this. Phantom only has 4 bars of health, but he rotates... Unless he has a little light heart core underneath his robe, you can't actually damage him. So you need to wait until that pops up. White is physical attack, red is fire magic, blue is blizzard, yellow is thunder. If you use Aeroga in order to have a good defense up, some of the stuff that he throws at you will just kind of bounce off you. So Arrow is actually good for this fight, thankfully. The reason why I suggest Goofy over Donald is because Goofy gets an ability called MP Gift, which costs him 2 MP, but it gives another ally 3 MP. And that is going to be so much more useful in this fight to have your own magic refunded back to you with Goofy's help than just having Donald to be able to maybe double up on magic. And as I mentioned, I'm pretty sure Peter Pan is entirely mandatory because you have to talk to Tinkerbell in order to actually do this fight. So yeah, summary, your arrow spell is actually good for this fight. Keep freezing the stop, using stop on the clock every so often, and just look for the weakness color of Phantom's core and hit him with that weakness, and you basically just rinse and repeat for the whole fight. He doesn't do anything too crazy.
How easy is it for Goofy to refill MP? Because it doesn't look like he's able to really get a whole lot during the fight.
So if he takes damage because of MP Rage, because you can give him MP Rage, okay. he can get some decent amount up. I believe that if you manage to land a physical attack on the core when it's white, it actually gives you quite a bit of MP back, like towards the charge gauge. So he can pretty reliably get an MP gift off every so often. So
but he like has to be the one that hits the white core.
Right.
Yeah. Which,
but
if
also,
you're up in the business, okay.
But I mean, to be fair, he also, even if he dies, he keeps his MP at whatever he's at, and since he can keep on coming back, then he will have 2 MP at various points to gift you 3 extra MP, and that does go a long way. I do like this boss fight music. This doesn't play all that often, but it's pretty nice. Look at Goofy's MP bar.
It's so small.
Yeah. Also, the Doom spell that Phantom can cast. If he's not using, he starts using it, I believe, on the first one he uses it on, I think, is Peter Pan, and then he'll use it on. Oh yeah, he also can use this magic that like saps your health slowly. It's kind of like a poisonous effect. But yeah, he'll use Doom usually, I believe, on Peter Pan first, either Donald or Goofy, whoever is with you there, and then he'll use it on Sora last. The difference between Doom and a regular like knockout is they can't come back.
Oh, lame.
Yeah. So if he gets to use Doom on Sora, unless you can keep casting that stop spell on the clock, it's just a matter of time before you die. You can kind of get a little more careless later on in the fight if he hasn't cast Doom yet on anybody, but you definitely need to make sure he doesn't get to Sora on it, because, well, he is the last one he'll use it on. It only takes one, and you can't avoid it. It will automatically be used on that target. There's no like range or something that you can like avoid a projectile or something.
What if I throw Donald at it? Summon him from the pocket dimension that he's sitting in right now.
If it's not obvious, your item loadout should be heavily skewed towards MP restoration. You need ethers, you need elixirs. Do not worry about potions whatsoever, because you're not going to really have the space in your inventory to be divvying that up. You gotta put everything towards the MP, because it costs so much MP to get him down. Like, I'm pretty sure like most of the rest of this fight is a struggle just because I can't really get him to a point where like I'm not struggling to keep my MP up.
What if someone modded this game? And the only thing they changed was that on this level, on this world, the background is Spagonia from Sonic Unleashed.
The only thing they change?
Actually, the whole thing is just Spagonia. We're at the clock tower from Spagonia.
Oh my goodness. I mean, it'd be better than the Neverland that we're in now, because it's literally just the ship and the clock tower, so I'd be down for Spagonia. But yeah, this is why I recommended, if you've already beaten the Ice Titan, having the Diamond Dust or something else that gives you at least 2 MP, because you need it. And also the extra damage that having more MP, because like the way that the MP and magic works in this game, the more MP you have, the more powerful your magic ends up being as well. So the higher MP that you have, the more damage you'll be able to do on the small instances where you'll be casting magic on him, because like you only really get 1 or 2 shots per time that he opens his core up, so like you may need to get that damage in. I would probably recommend being at least like level 65 or 70 for this guy. You don't need to be like super high, but you'll definitely need to be at a point where you have a good amount of MP, and I think Sora gets a few MP boosts into like the 60s, so. Uh-oh. Goofy and Peter Pan are fucking knocked out.
Yeah.
Tell him to stop being dead.
Ow. I basically just have to spam heal because I was an idiot and I just let him hit me with that fucking curse spell, whatever that it's supposed to be. I don't know what it is. I think it looks like a curse spell. He's almost dead though. Interestingly, in the original, because like just like all the other Heartless, because he is a Heartless, all the other Heartless were recolored for this version of the game. He used to just be like a dark blue, almost black, but they changed his robe to be like mostly white with like black sleeves.
creepy claw hands.
Yeah, he has creepy claw hands.
He's the Edward Scissorhands of
We're basically good.
Shadows. Heartless.
One more hit. Come on, one more hit.
It's actually the vampire mommy from Resident Evil Village.
Oh, damn.
When's
Come on,
that
dude.
LP?
Ask Justin.
Here we go.
Does he own the game?
Probably not yet, but he probably will. I mean, it came out today at time of recording. Why,
But I know
you own the game?
No.
That was my first time beating the Phantom boss, because when I used to play Kingdom Hearts when I was younger, I found the mechanics of the fight so frustrating that I just never bothered to beat him. He actually also guards your final stop magic upgrade, so that's cool. And you get a trophy for beating him, as you would probably expect. So that's going to be all for this part. In the next part, we have a couple more optional bosses to fight. We've got one that is going to be over in Agrabah, and we've got another one that is pretty much one of the most infamous optional bosses in Square Enix history. But we'll see you...
Do we fight a train?
No, but we will see you in the next part where we'll fight some more optional bosses.
Where we suplex a train. See you then, folks.